Autumn was getting ever closer, and work on Mr. Stard and Lord Dexby's branch line was coming along quite nicely. In the few months since Mr. Stard returned from his suspension, progress had been slow, but steady, and the line had almost reached its first stop. A workers' town yet to be built, that Lord Dexby had taken upon himself to call Woodfield, due to the woods surrounding the fields in the area.
I've got it.
Mr. Stard found this highly unimaginative and lazy, but allowed it nevertheless. The original plan was to have the line run double track all the way down to the river a few miles down. But due to the rough terrain and a rather unpleasant farmer with a shotgun, they had settled for keeping the line single track for the remainder of the way. Things were indeed going smoothly, at least until Mr. Knox started getting involved. He had wanted to get back at Lord Dexby ever since the altercation they had at Lower Redwick, but now that Mr. Stard was involved in that picture, his want had become more of an obsession. He had taken it upon himself to involve Mr. Dickinson, bringing to his attention that Lord Dexby was running engines between Endon and the branch line past Redwick, something he claimed violated the agreement between Lord Dexby and the railway. Mr. Dickinson asked for a few days to sort out some details, before arriving at Mr. Knox's office 3 days later. "Good day to you, sir. I trust all is well?"
"It's as well as it can be, considering everything you've brought to my attention."
"What is the current standing on that situation?"
"Well, you will be happy to know that the current agreement does in fact specify running between Endon and his railway, nothing further."
"Oh, that's brilliant."
"Don't go jumping the gun now, Knox. I'm not finished."
"Sorry, sir. Continue."
"While it specifies that he is allowed to run to Endon, there is no clause that says it's prohibited for him to go elsewhere so long as normal operations are not disrupted."
"Which they are. I can show to a few abnormal delays that we've had in the past few weeks."
"Oh, really? And they link directly back to Lord Henry Dexby?"
"Well, no, not currently. But I'm more than confident that they can be traced back to his overreach."
"You're basing your entire case on speculation. Bold move. I hope for your sake that it pays off."
"Not to worry. It will. I just need a few days to find the testimonies needed."
"If only time was a luxury that you had. We shall see shortly if you are correct."
"What do you mean? We have plenty of time."
Oh, God. It's like 1951 all over again. All right, you tight-ass bastards. What do you want?
"Dexby, what are you doing here? It's not like you to show up uninvited."
That's right. For your information, you pompous git, I was invited.
"By who? Stard? He's on leave today. How could you have possibly—"
"That's quite enough of that, Knox. Good day to you, Henry. Long time no see."
Cyril. Thank you again for the invitation.
"Of course. I trust the wife as well."
Rightfully revved, and rather angry I won't be home for dinner tonight.
"Understandable. I do apologize for not meeting you in London. However, Knox here would more than likely have been in a bit of a mood if he wasn't invited to this meeting."
It's no bother, old chap. Shall we get to it, then?
"Of course. Right this way."
Now then, what seems to be the problem this time, Knox?
"Well, Dexby, we've been looking at your recent operations in this area, specifically your involvement with the work on the branch line near Lower Redwick, and it raises some concerns on possible effects it could have on the timetable of our railway."
Oh, this is going to be good. Do go on.
"It is in my understanding, as per the documentation signed by you and Bradford Aaron Stard back in 1952, that your engines would be allowed to operate between your branch line—"
Railway.
"Of course. Railway in Kent, and the business you own at the industrial estate at Endon. However, for months now you have been running your own construction consists between Lower Redwick, as you've named it, and the estate."
Yes, that is correct. What seems to be the problem?
"I, along with some of the other crew and locomotives, worry about the risk of delays caused by these unscheduled stock movements, particularly as you have to hog the main line for nearly half an hour during these unscheduled movements."
While it could have been worded a little more tactfully, he does have a point. Running unscheduled freight services, delays or not, invites unwanted variables that risks delays, or worse.
Well then, what do you propose?
You could always stop gallivanting your engines along the line like it's Kent. An already unwanted group of ancient machinery would not be missed if it vanished off the face of the earth.
Care to repeat that, Glenn Knox?
I don't believe I need to.
Let it be stated that I came here intending to work with you for a solution. Not to pick a fight with small fry managers, but if that's the road you wish to go down for a second time, Knox, I'm sure my lawyers would be more than happy to strip you of your title once more.
Come now, you two. Let's not escalate things beyond reason. We are simply trying to find a solution, Henry, not outlaw you from your own sight.
Then please, Cyril, enlighten me. What did you have in mind?
I propose that we extend upon the original agreement. The trains you run get listed on the timetable to avoid any unforeseen issues, and we will allow you to run and store any of your rail property here at Redwick for the purposes of construction work. Within reason, of course.
You what?
Yes, that would make it more effective in the long run, though I suspect the running fees will be increased if I do agree to your terms.
No, the rate stays the same. Call it an apology for the poor behaviour of my colleague here.
Very well. Have the new draft sent to my lawyers for them to go over. Was there anything else you wished to go over, Knox?
No, Dexby. Nothing at all.
I thought not. Well, Cyril, it was a pleasure doing business with you as always.
Likewise to you, Henry. I hope the journey back won't take too long.
Oh no, not at all. Besides, I have some other business to attend to before I head back home. Oh, and Knox.
Yes?
I love the new car. What happened to the old one?
You...
Oh, would you look at the time? Best be off. Ta-ta!
What in the world just happened?
Something that seems to happen more and more often these days. You dug yourself a hole, and I had to pull you out.
Me? A hole? You are the one that bent the knee to that Dexby bastard.
Something that I would do again if the need arose. I may be crazy enough to try and get Mr. Starr and his followers evicted from the railway, but messing with Dexby and his lawyers, I'd just as soon retire.
You fear him?
No. I fear what they could do to our plans. And so should you, especially after what they did to you.
Do not bring that up.
Why? Are you afraid of your greatest failure coming to light again?
I know what I did. You do not have to tell me again and again.
Maybe not. But that doesn't change the fact that you keep throwing rocks at the same hornet's nest while expecting different results. I am ordering you not to intervene with Henry Dexby and his work again, unless you want to end up as the janitor at Hendon.
No,
Enough! You have wasted enough of my time. I have more urgent things to do than to babysit an overgrown toddler with the ego the size of this station. Good day to you.
Yes, sir. As you demand.
This is a nice chair, Bankdrol. I might have to take it back with me.
What the fuck? Henry! One of these days.
You know, pointing that gun at me isn't very nice.
Yeah, the brain splatter won't be nice either if you keep fucking scaring me.
That's cute. Anyway, I'm not here for the gun measuring competition. Trust me, I'd win.
Yeah, whatever. Why are you here? I thought our meeting wasn't until next month.
It isn't, but I have something you'll want to see.
A letter? What's on it?
Why don't you use your eyes and find out, barstool?
Cunt. Alright, fine. Henry, what the hell is this?
It's an extension to the deal we made back in 1952. I now have permission to run my engines and stock where I so desire.
How did this even come about? I didn't know there was any plan to allow this.
Long story short, Knox fucked around and found out. I just used some of my very delicately placed threats to make sure they didn't try to deny me running rights past Endon.
Did that bastard really hold a meeting without me?
Oh, don't you worry. I put him back in his place. But maybe next time, skip the happy ending.
Shut it. So then, what does this mean for us?
For us, nothing much. For me, however, read the fine print.
What? Allowed to run and or store any rail stock at Redwick?
Precisely. So by that logic, I can run and store anything needed for Woodfield in this very city, be it materials, wagons, or...
Oh, you sneaky bastard. You haven't.
If they didn't want it, they should have worded it better.
Oh, that is evil. I love it.
Come along now. We have things to sort out in the yard.
Star chuckled as the two made their way out of the office and into the yards outside. He looked around expectantly, but saw nothing but Grover swearing at wagons. Henry? What are we looking for?
Give it a moment. You'll see.
Okay, I don't know what I was expecting, but this sure as hell wasn't it.
Ah, Ben. I'm glad to see you made it safely. What the fuck have they done to Redwick?
Hang on, what?
You there. Are you the one who's done this? I'd be in my right mind too. Now, easy there. You can redirect that frustration at Glenn Knox. He's the one behind the redesign. Oh, great. The saboteur is here as well. I leave for 15 years, and this place goes down the tubes.
Wait, you've worked here before?
He did. Years before you were swimming in your dad's ballsack.
I did not need that image in my head, but okay.
Yes, I used to work here alongside the likes of Clint, Hacken and Arvin. Of course, all those old bastards probably got withdrawn due to being outdated. Better them than me. Oh wait, that was me.
Actually, Clint's still about. Seb as well, if you remember him.
Oh joy. I'll watch out for sewage tankers.
Anyways, nice to meet you. I'm Bradford Aaron Stard.
Wait, you're the offspring of old Barney?
Yeah, that's my dad, alright.
Now that you mention it, the resemblance is there. Let's just hope the political ideology didn't stick.
The what?
Right, Ben, back on topic. How was the journey? Held up for an hour at Reading. Those bastards wouldn't move. Standard day for the GWR then. Anyway, welcome to your new old stomping ground. You'll be based out of here until we can build some facilities at Woodfield. Go and get yourself refueled. You'll be working the construction trains. Once the work is done, you'll be in charge of transporting the wood to this yard for export. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Good. Off you go.
Well, that was something.
I figured he'd fit right in.
You can say that again. He seems like the no-nonsense type.
That is precisely why I'm very intrigued to hear how his first encounter with a certain Hall goes.
Oh, you magnificent bastard. Ben spent the rest of the day getting acquainted with the railway he had once called home. He shuffled between Redwick and the construction site throughout the day, raising eyebrows wherever he went as the engines began catching sights of the elderly engine. By nightfall, he rolled into the sheds at Redwick, with the engines looking at him with a mix of confusion and apprehensiveness.
Well, go on, it's not polite to stare.
What do you think you're doing in our shed? This is for engines of the Redwick and Chiltern Hills line only.
Well, it's a good thing I worked here long before you were ever drawn up.
Hang on. Ben?
You know this old teapot?
Well, yeah. He's one of the original engines that helped build the line.
Well. I never thought I'd see you again, Leviathan.
You survived. I thought you got scrapped along with the others.
Sadly, yes. But I lived.
Former resident or not, Dexby holds no power here. You need to leave immediately.
Oh, pipe down, Hall. I wasn't talking to you.
Oh, chill out, will you, Hart? It costs you nothing to show a little more respect to someone you've never met.
That livery tells me everything I need to know about him, and he is not welcome here.
Last time I checked, you're not in charge of this shed, so pipe down. Besides, me and Levi don't have an issue with him being here, right?
Well, it should at least be cleared with our managers first. You know, just in case.
Evening all.
Ah, perfect timing. This engine is invading our sheds. I have told him to get out, but he is refusing to move.
Wait, Ben?
Ah, so you do remember me.
Yeah, of course I do. I was crushed when you and Arvin got taken away. You survived?
Well, I did. No idea about Roy.
Oh, that is a shame. Well, at least you're still around. How have you been?
Well, the Southern region is nothing on the old GWR. But Lord Dexby treats his engines better than any manager I've ever met, even old Barney.
That's good to hear. It's not quite been the same since you all...
Enough! I will not have a stowaway taking up a shed road.
Hart, mate, calm down. I can vouch for him, he's one of the good ones.
I don't care who he is and what your history is. Dexby engines have no place in this shed, and that's final.
Will you all shut up? I could hear you arguing from the platforms.
Ah, sir, perfect timing. Can you...
Quiet. I came here with a purpose, not to listen in on meaningless arguments.
Here we go.
That's enough sass out of you. Who the hell are you?
I'm Ben, and you are...
The manager of this railway. That's all you need to know.
Ah, so you're the tosspot who ruined Redwick. I'd be in my right mind to give you a lesson or two.
Knox went red in the face as he glared at the tank engine. He was about to explode into a rage when a voice spoke out from behind him.
Now, Ben, cool your boiler. You are a guest here, after all. Of course, sir.
What is the meaning of this, Dexby? This engine has no place in these sheds. Get it out of here at once.
No, I don't think I will. I am simply following the agreement we came to the other day.
The agreement you and Mr. Dickinson came to was to allow your ancient stock to run directly to Redwick and to be stored in the sidings if needed. There is nothing in that agreement about storing an outdated kettle in the sheds.
Outdated kettle? Why, I oughta... Ben, that is enough. I figured you would say that, Knox. And you are correct. There is nothing in the agreement that specifies having a loco in the sheds.
Then remove it at once. I will not ask again.
You did not let me finish. I believe This will be a lot better if you read it for yourself. Here you go. Read it carefully.
I already know all this stuff. I was there, remember?
Apparently not. Read paragraph 4.3 out loud.
Whatever. All parties agree that any rail stock owned by Lord Henry Dexby and his company may be run and or stored at Redwick, as long as it does not interfere with any day-to-day operations.
Correct. So tell me, Knox, is my engine interfering with your operations?
Well, no, but...
I rest my case. Ben can stay here until a shed can be built down at Woodfield. It should only be a few months.
A few months? No, I will not stand for this.
Oh, you poor fool. You have already signed the agreement. There is no going back on it now, unless you wish to have a long conversation with Cyril and my lawyers. It could always be arranged.
Damn you, Dexby, you scheming bastard.
You can blame your boss. His words, not mine. Oh, and Knox, let this be a lesson to read the fine print more carefully.
I can't believe I have to share a shed with this disgrace.
Oh, and I would mind my words if I were you, 7907. That is going to be you in a few years. You'll be the one discarded and forgotten to time.
Unlikely. I was built less than 10 years ago.
Keep thinking that. It will make the end so much sweeter for the rest of us. Now then, Ben. Yes, sir? There will be a shipment arriving here tomorrow at noon. You will have plenty of work to do down at the bridge, so get some rest while you can. Understood. Very good. I shall take my leave. I hope this clears up any confusion you and your not-so-well-informed engines had.
What the hell are you all gawking at?
Sir, surely you're not just going to let him walk all over you like that?
Quiet, you. Another word on the matter and I will have you sidelined for a month.
Yes, sir.
I've got a phone call to make. Count yourself lucky for tonight, 1638. By tomorrow you'll be going back to your hovel in Kent.
Sure. Keep talking shit, Knox. It did you no favours in 1951. It won't do you any favours now.
1951?
What happened in 1951?
Quiet! You have not heard the last of this. Knox stormed off in a hurry, leaving Ben with a smug look on his smokebox. The sheds fell silent after that, before more engines came in for the evening, all of them just as curious about the newcomer. Ben, however, quickly fell asleep, getting a much-needed rest for the next day. The next week was a hectic time for the managers of the railway. Mr. Knox had tried his hardest to get the deal between Lord Dexby and Mr. Dickinson changed to get Ben evicted, claiming Dexby had twisted the wording of the contract to create disruptions for the railway. But Mr. Dickinson had quickly shut him down, claiming that one locomotive couldn't possibly disrupt day-to-day workings to the extent Mr. Knox was claiming. Knox, in his desperation, had even tried to get Mr. Stard on his side in the matter, but of course, that didn't work out for him. Instead, he had to live with a constant reminder of his past moving around him on a day-to-day basis. Ben had taken no notice of Mr. Knox's hissy fit, and had instead gotten straight to work on the line to Woodfield. With the goods now being delivered directly to Redwick, the construction ramped up quickly as the foundations for the bridge were put into place. The workmen worked tirelessly through the day, only slowing down for lunch or unexpected delays. Though these delays weren't common, they were almost always able to be traced back to the yards at Redwick.
How long is this going to take?
I'm sure it won't be long, Ben. I think Grover's just bringing some stock over from the station.
Well, that oiled up shitbox better hurry, or I'll go over there and shunt him myself. That is a promise, not a threat.
Glad to see some things never change.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing.
Well, you certainly have changed a lot.
How do you mean?
You've lost the accent, you're not as eager and brash, and you don't look like you're fresh out the coalfields anymore.
Oh, thanks, I guess? I don't really speak much of the coalfields these days. Not many good memories and all that.
Well, look at you. It's like I'm talking to a new engine.
Nope. Same old boring 4200. No need for modifications or a rebuild like those fancy 5205s or 7200s.
Pah! Rebuilds are overrated anyway. What I'd give to have my old tanks back. Ah, finally! The signal will turn green any second now. Any second now. See? Green! Whoa, no, wait. That's still red. I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a moment still, Ben. Oh, good day to you, sir. What seems to be the issue? Nothing new. That Belen Knox told the signalman that our services were the lowest priority. Don't worry, that won't be an issue anymore.
That sounds rather ominous.
That's because it is.
I see.
Well, that certainly explains all my late departures. I wonder if that Knox bastard is looking for a pair of concrete shoes. I'm sure I've got some in his size.
Jesus Christ.
No, that won't be necessary. I've already called ahead to Mr. Dickinson to let him know what has happened. I'm sure he's getting an earful as we speak.
What's your problem with Mr. Knox? He may be a bit intense, but look at what he's done for the railway in Stard's place. If you ask me, he's done more good than Stard ever did.
Let's just say, he tried to play me for a fool once. I'm sure you'll hear the full story soon enough. But time is not on our side today.
A whistle sounded out from the yard entrance as Pat rolled in with the slow goods. Moments later, the path was cleared for the elderly pannier to get back to work.
I believe that is your cue, Ben. Off you go. Oh, it's about time. Farewell, sir, and safe travels back home. Thank you, Ben.
What a crazy old bastard.
Quite. Yet there's more knowledge in that smokebox than most men alive today.
You can say that again. He's a good mentor.
Mentor?
Aye. He took me under his wing when I first arrived here. Feels like a lifetime ago now.
Interesting. Anyway, I best be off. That flyer won't wait forever.
Of course. Lord Dexby,
Yes?
thank you for saving my friend.
Of course. It was my pleasure.